The Cleveland Browns, perennial magnets for NFL drama, are once again at the epicenter of a quarterback saga that's shaking the league. After a dismal 3-14 season in 2024, the spotlight should have dimmed, but Shedeur Sanders, son of Hall, of famer Deion Primetime Sanders, keeps it blazing. Drafted 144th overall in the 5th round of 2025, despite a resume boasting 3,926 yards, 27 touchdowns, and a 74% completion rate at Colorado, Sanders was pegged as a top 5 talent. His slide sparked whispers of bias tied to his father's flashy legacy, but now, Browns GM Andrew Berry is rewriting the narrative. In a stunning move, Berry bumped Sanders to QB2, leapfrogging rookie Dylan Gabriel and signaling unwavering faith in the young star. With Joe Flacco, 40 and fading, as QB1 and head coach Kevin Stefanski under fire, Berry's bold gamble, backed by media like Mary Kay Cabot and voices like TJ Houshmandzadeh, has thrust Sanders into a high-stakes spotlight. Is this the dawn of a new Browns era, or a risky bet that could unravel the franchise? Berry's obsession with Sanders was evident from the draft. Frustrated when Sanders fell past the 2nd round, he seized control in the 5th, convincing owner Jimmy Haslam to secure the quarterback. "He's too much value to pass up," Berry said, per Cleveland.com, selling not just Sanders' arm, 4,134 yards and a 4.1 touchdown-to-interception ratio in 2024, but his media magnetism. Sanders' number 12 jerseys outsell Flacco's 10-1, and his $4 million NIL empire from Colorado made him a marketing juggernaut before his first NFL snap. Berry's vision wasn't just football, it was cultural. Trading Kenny Pickett to the A, Raiders cleared the path, reducing competition and setting Sanders up as the Browns' future. His preseason debut against Carolina, 14 of 23 for 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, showed flashes of brilliance, though a brutal Rams game, 3 of 6, 14 yards, 5 sacks, exposed flaws. Still, Berry's response was decisive. He cut the entire offensive line that failed Sanders, a seismic move signaling his commitment. It wasn't just personnel, Cabot noted. It was a statement. Berry's faith is paying dividends. Sanders' poise, honed under Deion's tutelage, shines through. "He's calm, smart, brilliant," Berry said post-preseason, praising a 2-for-3 camp session against Myles Garrett. Sanders' work ethic, grinding film with virtual reality, pushing receivers like Cedric Tillman in scout team drills, earned first-team reps, not hype. His bond with Flacco, laughing in the locker room, and respect from veterans like Amari Cooper show a maturity beyond his 23 years. "He's a pro's pro," Cooper said, echoing Cabot's praise for his leadership. Shedeur's stats back the buzz. A 1.9 assist-to-turnover ratio and clutch throws, like a 5-10-yard, 4-touchdown TCU game, rival top picks like Cam Ward. Yet his 94 college sacks and 15 interceptions raise concerns about pocket presence, a critique Berry dismisses. "He's our guy," he told reporters, doubling down by elevating Sanders over Gabriel, whose 5'11" frame and 272 preseason yards, with a pick, pale in comparison. The move has shifted the Browns' narrative. Cabot, once a skeptic, now champions Sanders as the team's lifeline. "Without him, we're irrelevant," she wrote, crediting his presence for keeping Cleveland in headlines despite their struggles. ESPN, CBS, and NBC buzz with Sanders' name, his every practice clip a viral sensation. But Berry's gambit isn't without risk. Stefanski, on a hot seat after a 5-12 projection for 2025, initially downplayed Sanders, critiquing his footwork. Now, under pressure, he's pivoted. "I'm committed to his development," Stefanski said, a stark change from his earlier doubts. Houshmandzadeh on FS1 warned that stifling Sanders could cost Stefanski his job. "Berry's all in. Kevin's got no room for error," he said, noting the growing scrutiny. Fans chanting Shedeur at First Energy Stadium, where his jerseys dominate, amplify the stakes. Berry's line purge sent a message. Sanders must thrive, not just survive. The broader context fuels the fire. Sanders' draft slide, despite a resume outshining peers like Jackson Dart, sparked bias allegations. Former Browns player Phil Taylor claimed owners shunned Sanders for Deion's flamboyance, labeling his gold chains and watches as trouble. Bart Scott called it a deliberate snub, pointing to teams like the Giants passing despite QB needs. Critics like Mike McCoy branded Sanders arrogant at the combine, and Colin Cowherd slammed Deion for hyping him without humility. Cam Newton questioned his convenient college setups, ignoring his 6 coordinators and 52 sacks behind a porous line. These attacks shifted focus from tape to persona, with anonymous scouts citing entitled interviews. Yet Ward's #1 selection suggests selective bias. Sanders' $4 million NIL and Deion's Eli Manning threats spooked owners. It's not just football, an NFC exec told USA Today. Deion's shadow hurt him. Barry saw past the noise. His push for Sanders wasn't just about stats, but star power. He's a media force, Barry told Haslam, per insiders, envisioning a franchise face. Deion, coaching at Colorado, stays hands-off, avoiding calls to Stefanski, but his presence looms. Networks like Amazon crave Sanders' ratings boost, yet the NFL prefers control. Sanders, with his diamond-studded watch and prime swagger, defies that. Historical parallels. Cam Newton's arrogant dances. Lamar Jackson's doubted style suggest a pattern. Confident black quarterbacks face higher bars. Sanders, though, is flipping the script. His 7-on-7 efficiency outshone Gabriel's, and his huddle command draws comparisons to a young Russell Wilson. He's not hype, Cabot said. He's the real deal. The stakes are monumental. If Flacco falters, say Week 5 against Baltimore, Sanders could ignite Cleveland. A 40-yard laser to Jerry Jeudy would spark a movement. A pick could fuel critics. Stefanski's tightrope is razor thin. Rush Sanders, and a flop risks his job. Delay, and fans revolt. Barry's line overhaul, adding rookie Ariante Ursary, aims to protect Sanders, but the offense remains shaky. Gabriel's mobility, 1,895 college rushing yards, offers an edge, but his 12 interceptions and 2 preseason sacks expose limits. Sanders' moment looms, Week 10, Week 15, or a collapsed season, but delay breeds unrest. Hushmanzada's warning rings true. Hold him back, and Stefanski's done. Barry's gamble is clear. Sanders is the future, not a project. Will he rise as Cleveland's savior or join its QB graveyard? Drop your take below. Is Barry's faith genius or reckless? Comment prime time if you're all in.